On mountain heights of heaven's land, we invoke the master plan. 'Cause it's our divine birthright, we're given back our cosmic sight. At dawn of life we were so high, with the angels we did fly. We now dissolve all blinding pain, ancient times come again. 'Tis in the name of holy peace that all our blessings now increase. Our great abundance now comply with power of our single eye. We bless the darkness, make it right, reverse the tide, free the light. God, make our power ever pure, else let the power not endure. We love and lift our fellow man. We understand the master plan. For us there's simply nothing new, other than what we once knew. First I spin at speed of light, within, without, come now our sight. Mighty Spirit Elohim, make truth of this our cosmic dream. Yes, our eye is really single with light. Our bodies do now tingle. Oh, our souls are so brand new. We now know all that we once knew. Bridge across the seas of time, yield passage to this soul of thine. Let us taste the ecstasy we knew before human misery. A mighty essence then are we. We wrote the pages of eternity. We're dancing on the sea of being. Light and love we're all decreeing, calling to our fallen self. Time to regain heaven's wealth. Cross the bridge of what's to be, where from your nightmare we are free. Hear the angels calling thee, saying, wake up God, you're really free. Hear the angels calling thee, saying, wake up goddess, you're really free. Wipe the nightmare from your eye, spread your wings and watch death die. Bridge across the seas of time, shackles of our soul unbind. Wake now from illusions dread, we're safe at home in heaven's bed. Welcome, my beloveds. Oh, life is delicious even when you think it's not. Life is a blessing even when the human eyes can't see it. I am Astarius Miraculi, loving you with the passion of heaven. So today we're having a full moon intention circle. The full moon is in Libra today. So when the moon is full in Libra, it means the sun is in Aries. And so when the moon is full, we have this amazing access to the power of emotionality that we can guide in the ways of fulfilling the intentions that we hold for our lives. And so as we get this experience launched, really feel the resonance of the divine connection that we share. The resonance of how powerful we are when we come together to reveal one another to each other. The resonance of me as a pilot of this experience, and every being who is present here is a co-pilot. And so we're in a powerful experience of co-creation. Today we intend to co-create the resonance of love, to co-create a deeper understanding of the dynamic of relationship. You see, one of the most powerful resonances of a full moon in Libra is the energy that is associated with relationship. So we're going to be looking at relationship on a lot of different levels, and also we'll have some transmissions. And in the very beginning, what I want to do, I want to pause this music right now because I'm going to bring in the didgeridoo. And when I play the didgeridoo, what I'd like for you to do is to put in all of your intentions in the chat, so that as you put your intentions in the chat, you know, the didgeridoo is bringing forth a frequency that is helping to bring about the manifestation of what it is that you want for yourself. And certainly, you know, we all want something really wonderful for our world. We want to heal the virus crisis. We want to heal, you know, the energy of warring and bigotry and bureaucratic bullying and legalized gangsterism and all of those things that are not a reflection of who we are in our divine nature. So as I play the didgeridoo, really put your affirmations and your intentions in the chat, and then maybe we'll have some communion or communication about that. And we're going to talk about this relationship dynamic, which is what this particular full moon is all about. Not just relationship with self, there's relationship with every single thing that is a part of our life. Everything is about relationship. So let me grab my didgeridoo. I'm going to play Mama Goddess today because, you know, the moon is a goddess frequency. So we want to play this didgeridoo because she is Mama Goddess. Thank you for being here. You know, thank you for loving on yourself. Thank you for loving on me. Oh my God, I receive it with the passion of heaven. Here we go. Okay. Felt good to me. Oh my goddess. Okay, so let me see if I can see some universal peace and healing for our planet. I met you years ago in Modesto. Thank you. Peace and love to you, beloved. Oh, Priya says, fully embody my true goddess, warrior self. And your goddesses must be aware of the warrior goddess. That's a very powerful component of goddesshood. And when we say warrior, we don't necessarily mean that in the negative sense. So thank you for receiving all of that energy. So when we talk about relationship, there's so many different levels. Like first and foremost, there was a relationship with our existence. When we came into being, were created by Creator Source, then the first thing is that we came into a relationship with existence. So sometimes when we think of a relationship, we tend to think of it solely relative to our being in relationship with a person, or in relationship with people, relationship with our family. But everything is relationship. For example, we have a relationship with this moment. So what is your relationship to the moment? Like, are we in acceptance of the reality of our moment? Or are we waging war against it? We have been in a series of moments that have constituted a lot of alone time, being with ourselves, keeping sacred company with self, being in the sacred soul retreat, as I call it, and as some would call it, being on lockdown or being in quarantine. So when we're pressed back upon ourselves, then we have a deepened opportunity to come into a greater relationship with ourselves. So what is the relationship with yourself, beloved? What is the resonance of love, or is there a resonance of love that you feel for you? And what is the prerequisite for you loving you? Do you love you based upon, I love me if I do this and I achieve that and create this over here? Or I love me if this person is showing love towards me, then that gives me permission to love me. Those are debilitated ways of loving self. We want to love ourselves in the way that God loves us. And when we're in the deepest relationship with ourselves, then we love ourselves based upon one fact, and that is that we are. It's not based upon what we do, achieve, or create, and it's not based upon the magnitude of love that we get from another. It's based upon the fact that we are existence itself. And that's the way that our Creator loves us, with an infinite love, just because we are. And it's really enlightened self-interest on the part of our Creator, because I'm drawn to something here. Someone says, unspoken prayer requests in Jesus. Yes, we acknowledge that, and we see the Jesus reality as coded with G, He's us. Yes, we have that essence of the divine Christhood within us. And that's why we see that the mystic definition of Christianity is Christ-I-amity. So let's look at for a moment our relationship with the virus crisis. So we have an experience on our plate right now. And so we are in relationship with this experience that is on our plate. Are we in relationship with it from a place of resistance? Are we trying to push it away? Or are we open to say, what is it that I am meant to learn from this experience? See, when we learn all that the virus crisis has to teach, or any other adverse experience, it then outlives its usefulness and makes room for other things of greater brilliance. So let's open our hearts and ask the question, what is it that we are to learn from this experience? And we want to learn it with the learning power, the receiving power of God Almighty. And then we emerge even stronger than we were before the crisis hit. So let's come into an empowered relationship with this challenge that we're facing. Everything that we bless will bless us back. Everything that we curse will curse us back. And so we want to bless it all and take no slack. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bath water. Because when we go to the central core of anything, as I constantly say, we only find the light. What is your relationship with your enemy? Those that you might consider to be your enemy. Do you recognize, do we recognize that our enemy is simply another aspect of our own self? Maybe a part of ourselves that we want nothing to really do with, and maybe we don't want to exemplify and express that. But every being is a mirrored reflection of some part of ourself. Our current self, yester self, future self, or at the very least, potential self. The one that is behaving the most horrible that one could behave is behaving in a way that, but by the grace of God, we could go that low as well. So let's have a relationship with humility. I once wrote a couple of wonderful poems on relationship, the vessel, and relationship, the star vessel. And since we have this full moon in Libra, I'm going to share these poems with you because I think they carry some really wonderful messages for us. And as I share with you, be aware of the power of co-creation, that you are co-creating every word that is coming out of my mouth, because we're here together. Whenever we're together in synergy, there is always a co-creation at play. I could say all of the same words to a completely different group of beloveds, and it would be totally different in frequency, because that would be a co-creation between myself and those beloveds. In this particular moment, there is this co-creation between myself and you, beloveds. You see. So I want you to really personalize whatever happens in our time that we spend together. And to recognize that if anything glorious happens, that you had a direct hand in the creation of that gloriousness. This is something that will up-level self-esteem. So 2 poems back to back, Relationship the Vessel and Relationship the Star Vessel. Relationship created from above, a vessel for the journey of love, sailing upon the human seas, mirrors of self that set me free. Our human goal above any other, to reveal one another to each other. When I relate to you, I learn and I see, and yet my greatest learning is always about me. Relationship must be the key to my self-mastery. The past is gone, the future takes too long, time to sing a current song. Only now can take me home. Only now can show me how. My life, oh heaven, re-endow. Emotional pain from long ago within my heart rips to and fro. How many others will I blame for the horrors of my pain? Resentment pushed me from the tower. Forgiveness is my get-up power. Forgive the past, trust the present, make the future sweet and pleasant. It is wise not to despise it. Use the dung to fertilize it, for life's greatest connoisseur gets the best crops from the best manure. I say the heathen spoil the seed and cause my little heart to bleed, yet if I had not the need, they couldn't do these awful deeds. If in fact I need the lesson, the pain they cause becomes my blessing. The real truth is, they work for me. So what shall be their salary? To ensure that it serves me best, I'll pay them the wages of forgiveness. Relationship, the vessel. Relationship, the star vessel. Relationship is a vessel for the journey of true love. No matter who the bond is with, the journey leads back home above. God is all there really is. This the truth will surely tell, forgotten oneness with my God, now trapped within an earthly spell. Once upon eternity, there was nothing else but me, an all-pervading godliness with every possibility. Then I split myself in two, to be the me as well as you, and then to be the multitude, but oneness never to exclude. I danced the dance of harmony with every living part of me, then rolled me all back into one. The one in all was so much fun. Then part of me felt at a loss, unless it be a separate boss. A bitter war I waged with me, lost in hell, no longer free. I forgot that I was whole and ripped apart my very soul. The life within cannot be lost. Illusion was the only cost. Cease the war. No more attack. Heaven, you must take me back. Hand in hand with all of me. Again, I'm ready to be free, though from my path I once did stray. Forgiveness says it's all okay. Now all I be is homeward bound, where only wholeness can be found. Love of all the key to me, a bridge to God where I am free. Everything through oneness gone, infinite love, now take me home. Potential in the void. Back before the birth of the universe, you were a seed of the eternal potentiality of divine being. And God, Goddess, in cosmic copulation, conceived the creation birth of this great universe of which you and I are an eternal part. Though you were only a potential in the mind of God, Goddess, as a part of the universe about to be created, you knew, even before you were created, everything that is, was, or ever will be. Every potential part of the creation carries the seed consciousness of our Creator. Every potential part of the creation carries the seed consciousness of our Creator. You and I spring from an eternal void which has no beginning and unfolds into an endless end. You were not a manifestation and had no form before your emergence from this vortex void of creation. Yet as a seed potential in a cocoon of eternal blackness, you were another home for the cosmic consciousness of God Almighty. And now you are part of a newborn universe, spat forth from the mouth of God Goddess, moving forward as an individual life form. You are now the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. So, beloved, what is your relationship to the absoluteness of your being, the oneness of the wholeness of your being? Are you aligned with the fact that you are the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is? You know, what is our relationship with our imagination? You little children, they do a thing called make-believe. And when that little child was making those mud pies, you could not tell that little one that it was not the most delicious thing that ever hit the planet. You see, children know the power of using imagination. You see, when we use our imagination and when we have, or let me say, to use our imagination is to have this relationship with the formlessness of our blessings that we want to come into manifestation. So we want to be having a relationship with a solution to the virus crisis. Not waiting for the manifestation of that solution. That will be the second stage of that reality. The first stage of the reality of the solution that we see in the whole world right now is in formlessness. See, the blessing is already given in formlessness. So what is our relationship to formlessness? See, our awareness that every reality has to begin as an intangible something. And then in that intangibleness, if we're giving energy to it, if we're having up-leveled appreciation for it, then we're feeding emotional energy into that particular thought that is in formlessness. Then that thought begins to be magnetic and attract other thoughts of a like nature, formulating a thought tribe until the vibrations become so powerfully accelerated that it then morphs into the manifestation of whatever it is that we want. What is our relationship to formlessness? What is our relationship to moments when we seem to be denied something that we really, really want? You see, if we go to the central core of that denial, we find fulfillment. What does this situation of denial have to teach me? What do I have to learn from it? Because I know that once I learn all that it has to teach, it's going to outlive its usefulness. It's going to move out of the way. It's going to make room for something else that is so much more wonderful. So we want to really deepen all of the levels of relationship that we find ourselves in. What is our relationship to our self-worth? Did you know, beloved, that the universe would be utterly incomplete without you? And that you have a gift that is given unto the universe that is unduplicatable. And that is absolutely a phenomenal thing. So we want to be in celebration of ourselves for all of the amazing blessings that exists for us. Okay, difficult. Want to manifest, Simone says. Okay, I'm going to respond to some of these things in the chat. Beloved Simone, in order to come into the manifestation, we have to start with the predecessor of manifestation. And the predecessor of manifestation is femifestation. Femifestation represents that which is in the womb of creation, in the womb of our souls. You see, it is intangible. You can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it. And yet it is the first stage of reality, and even the greater measure of reality, because formless reality, or the femifestation of reality, being formless, is in fact co-eternal with God, and it's unfolding down the corridors of forever. So if you want to rise above it being difficult to manifest, you must learn to appreciate the pre-manifest stage of reality. You see, like if one does not appreciate crawling, then they can forget about learning to walk, because the crawling has to precede the walking. And in a manner of speaking, it is the crawling that gives birth to the walking, because the crawling is the predecessor to the walking. The other thing, beloved, when it comes to manifesting, in order to be a powerful manifester on the individual level, we must up-level our appreciation for all of the successful manifestors that we see throughout the world. See, sometimes we block our manifestations because we're jealous of others who are manifesting in a really good way. But if we're jealous of the one who's manifesting the thing that we want, we're actually unconsciously jealous of the thing that we want and pushing it away. So part of the process of getting to the individual mastery of manifestation is celebrating all of the manifestations that you see in the whole of existence. All of the abundance, even if we're not actualizing all of that abundance on an individual level, just by the willingness to look around and see how abundant life is, how abundant the flowers are, how abundant the sun is in the way that it shines upon everyone, and that in every day the sun offers a baptism of light upon every single being, upon the whole of the planet. You see, that's abundance. The blue of the sky, that's abundance. The oceans, that's abundance. And as we up-level appreciation for that abundance that we see, in constant manifestation, then what's going to happen is there's going to be an acceleration of our own individual manifesting. But it has to be that overall connection. Love you, Brother Tower. It's been a long time, sending you a lot of love and light. Okay. Understand to celebrate because you see it in someone else. Okay. Does that tell me that the blessing is near? I might not be reading that exactly correct. But I think I get the nutshell of what's being said there. Yes, it has to be a celebration of the abundance everywhere we see it in order to actualize it in a individualized way. It can't happen otherwise. Because every abundant being in the whole of existence is our own self, our own abundant self by extension. And so we want to be in celebration of everything that we see. What is our relationship with our failures? Do you beat yourself up about having missed the mark or feeling like you failed in something? Sometimes failure feels like being knocked down. But then we get up even stronger than we were before we went down. And so, then getting knocked down becomes servant unto our own expansion. He says, so if we feel that we failed in something, we want to have a proper relationship with that. We want to bless that situation. And to whatever degree we so-called failed, there's always a certain way in which we did win. You see, there's never 100% failure, never. There's always some measure of winning in every situation. See, so then, we want to have a relationship with maximizing the minimum. Because when we have a maximum appreciation for something that is only minimally expressed or minimally fulfilled, then the next thing we know, the minimum becomes the maximum. Okay, so I'm feeling like I want to just kind of tone a little bit with this Fly My Winged Love, and just align your intentions with me as I offer these tones. And if you feel it, you might even want to tone with me. I just feel like I want to bring some frequency in. See what is needed, that your prayer will be heeded. See it as though you've already succeeded. Have faith in advance, good is left not up to chance. For if faith be postdated, then your blessings are belated. And when you're good, you detain, the whole world bears the strain. Invoke the spirit of fire, purge the enemy of your desire, and make the wise decision to maximize your vision. Maximize your vision. On mountain heights of heaven's land, we now invoke the master plan. Oh yeah, because it's our divine birthright, we're giving back our cosmic sight. At dawn of life we were so high, with the angels we did fly. We now dissolve all blinding pain. The ancient times now come again. 'Tis in the name of holy peace that all our blessings now increase. Our great abundance now comply with power of our single eye. We bless the darkness, make it right. Reverse the tide and free the light. God, Goddess, make our power ever pure, else let the power not endure. We love and lift our fellow man and woman and understand the master plan. For us, there's simply nothing new except that which we always knew. First eye spin at speed of light, within, without, come now our sight. Mighty Spirit Elohim, make truth of this our cosmic dream. Yes, our eye is really single with light, our bodies do now tingle. Oh, our souls are so brand new, we now know all that we once knew. Money, money crystallized, stream right now into our hands. Golden sun within us rise, let abundance take a stand. We allow the manifestation, big financial compensation, great success come along, sing with us prosperity song. We are filled with inspiration. Gold now fills our situation. With our heart, we thank you, Lord. All we want, we can afford. Let it not only be for us, let all the world be rich and free. Let love and peace and truth abound in our lives, the world around. In our hands be ceaseless action, bringing wealth and satisfaction. With God, vision and reflection, see our money's resurrection. Blessings here and all about, courage, faith, and wisdom sprout. Gold for us is everywhere, and with all we ever share, let good fortune go before us, right beside us and behind us. All with money now adore us, with gold and emeralds they adorn us. Here's the vision we now see, our love has brought reality. Oh yes, it does exist for us. The angels have now set us free. Oh my God, prosperity feels wonderful. There's some people say, oh, I don't want to make a lot of money. Somebody says that would lie about other things too. So that's the medium of exchange. And so we honor the flow of prosperity, and we honor that by virtue of the gift of God, Goddess Absolute to us, that we are absolutely worthy of all of the abundance that is, was, or ever will be. So let's own the abundance that Creator Source intends for us. For life is so beautiful. I thank you, beloved, for remembering who you are. I thank you for being powerful in your knowingness of your safety and the safety of the world. I thank you for having the world's caboose. I just thought about that today, how we said we have each other's back. Well, I got your caboose, baby. We got to have each other's caboose, And we got to have the caboose of the world. And so I just invite you in this moment to resonate with me in a spirit of joy. And some might say, well, if you look outside, man, or you look at the fact that we can't really get out there and do the things that we've been accustomed to doing, what is there to smile about? But there's so much to be joyous about, so much to feel grateful for. Just have the opportunity to really go into this deep self-exploration. Many of us in our whole life have never been pressed back upon ourselves in such a way that we had to dance deeply with our own self. And I'm thanking you, beloved, for appreciating this deep dance that you're having with yourself. I'm thanking you, beloved, for realizing that there is so much value in this sacred soul retreat that you're in, this keeping sacred company with yourself. I thank you for getting the value of that. I thank you for aligning with your spiritual, mental, and emotional maturity. Or I'm saying maturity, yes, but what I'm reaching for is your spiritual, mental, emotional immunity. I thank you, beloved, for knowing that immunity starts at the level of spirit. at the level of emotionality, at the level of the mind. So right now, with all of the passion of heaven, feel, see, sense, know, and be your immunity. Be the robust resonance of your immune system. We are the robust resonance of our immune system. We are invincible, invisible, and invulnerable to any viruses, COVID-19 virus, any negativity, anything that is anti-divine. I thank you, beloved, for knowing that you are invincible, invisible, and invulnerable to any adverse energies. I thank you for coming home to yourself. Thank you for remembering who you are. I thank you for loving all of your beloveds in the recognition that they are your own self by extension. I thank you for embracing the truth that you are eternal being, that we all are eternal being, unfolding down the corridors of forever, and that will never cease to be. And there is no virus and no negativity that will outdistance not one of us, because we are co-eternal with God. So I'm getting close to the completion of this transmission, but before I do, is there anything on your heart that you would like to bring to the table that we could respond to? You know, if so, go ahead and put that in the chat. See, Brother Tower says, original God. Absolutely. That be we, indeed. Let me see if I scroll, maybe I might find somewhere. I know there's, maybe if I scroll back, I might find some questions. Oh, there's no place like home. Yes, that's right, Brother Tower. Love that. Okay, what else do we see here? Well, I guess maybe, you know, we may be, oh, okay, Michael Angel Ohm, love you, brother. It's been a minute, you see. See, I love you too, you know, and, you know, I am so grateful to do what I do, and so grateful that you honor what I do and you allow yourself to receive it. That's so beautiful. Just reaching back a little bit further here. Anyway, I'm not going to hunt them down. You know, if, you know, there are some, pushing back to where we started. Okay, Joanne says, anxiety relief. Well, I affirm that, my sister. That's really wonderful, you know, because we are all worthy of and welcome to the relief from anxiety. And you prompted something, so I'm going to dedicate this poem to you, Joanne. I call this one Attitudes Are More Important Than Circumstances. And incidentally, all of the poems that I've been reciting are part of my book, Miraculized Song of Ascension, which is available, you know, on my website, Astarius.com. But this is for you and all of us, Joanne. Here we go. Hear ye, O seeker, play not a game of chance. Maintain a lofty attitude to conquer lowly circumstance. Some circumstances seem so bad, though goodness in disguise. It's up to us to see the good or else be victimized. For if a circumstance seems down and we reject it with a frown, that circumstance is then compelled to pull us down in mental hell. But if we keep our mind on high, if we keep our gaze on high, despite the pain of circumstance, up with our attitude, the circumstance rises, and beyond its pain we then advance. Bitter circumstance is as a medicine to bring the wellness of a learned lesson. But we must swallow this medicine down to receive the healing and achieve the blessing. For if we spit this medicine out, life gives another dose without a doubt. Then we become victim of circumstance, a tyrant from which we can't advance until we learn to face it with a smile, drink that bitter cup and go the extra mile so that all things may be enhanced, because your attitude is more important than circumstance. I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full cellular ascension of my being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, in this now, with the full support of God, Goddess, the Ascended Master Realm, to include our Ascended Master Self, Father Saint Germain, Sananda, the Holy Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy, Archangel Michael and the legions, Ashtar and the entire command, Babaji, Raphael, Gabriel, clan of the trumpet angels, Aboriginal and tribal shaman, goddesses of fortune, angels of light, Elohim, clan of the serpents, Shiva, all Christ frequencies, all animal totems, elementals of fire, air, water, and earth, all divine beings of light, love, and ascension, named and unnamed, to activate the cells within my being who are your counterparts. With the unified power of the one, I decree my highest good, always operating in this now. I decree grace and mercy, always operating in this now. I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full truth and reality of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake with every breath that I breathe the violet fire, transmuting my whole being. I invoke and dream awake the full current of ascension in every cell of my being. I am ascended. I invoke and dream awake expanded God power fully realized in me, in the unlimited resonance of God, Goddess Almighty. I invoke and dream awake my infinite empowerment of my sexual, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial relationship with life. I invoke and dream awake sacred sexuality, erotic innocence, and always express the sacredness of sexual force for pleasure, creativity, and healing. I invoke and dream awake world universal healing from all sexual woundedness and shame. I invoke and dream awake worldwide release of all manipulating forces and beings who would control humanity past, present, and future. I invoke the angels and ascended masters to realign and heal all misused energy, to include the full restructuring of our DNA. I invoke and dream awake the transmutation of all negative and judgmental projections. I invoke and dream awake my constant ability to be centered and balanced in my psychic perceptions and empathic nature. All overwhelming psychic energies are released by me automatically, easily, effortlessly. I am empowered by everything. I invoke and dream awake my lucid dreaming each night. I sleep in total remembering when I awake. I invoke and dream awake my infinite harmony with God, Goddess I am. I invoke and dream awake the full expression of my miraculous healing power. My life is a continuous stream of miracles. I invoke and dream awake my infinite ability and willingness to receive all life's blessings. I invoke and dream awake a constant attitude of gratitude for my whole life, all my accomplishments and blessings, including the same for the universe at large. I invoke and dream awake the full blessings of God, Goddess, the ascended masters, angels, guides, and beings of light to bless this earth. I invoke and dream awake all my decrees, invocations, and prayers I have released to the universe and open myself to God's response, support, and love in my highest good. I invoke and dream awake the release of all past, present, and future lifetimes of decrees and vows which would bind me to limitation, lack, density, and anything not of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake the full reclaiming of my eternal self as powerful, loving, and fully aligned in abundant God consciousness. I invoke and dream awake the total dissolving of all manipulating forces which would bind this earth plane in fear. I invoke and dream awake the influence of the ascended master realm and angels to intercede and raise the vibrations higher, to bring darkness into the light, raising the frequency of love and God consciousness on planet Earth in this now. I invoke and dream awake the ascension of my soul, your soul, and planet Earth in this now. And that was spirit rap. I made it. That's a lot to transmit, and I'm thankful to the Creator for bringing it forward. So I thank you, beloveds, for watching and keeping sacred company with me and being in strong intentionality for this full moon today. It's such a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I am available for intuitive astrological readings and sound healings with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics.